All right, welcome. Today, we're going to move beyond just, managing money. We're going to talk about actively creating the financial future you actually want. We'll be diving into a 5-step program that's all about connecting your wealth to your real purpose. So let's start with this quote from Mark Twain, because it just hits the nail on the head. There are two great tragedies in life. One is not getting what you desire, and the second is getting what you desire. The first part, well, that's obvious, right? But the second one, getting everything you thought you wanted and still feeling empty, that's the real trap. And it's the core problem so many people have with money.
And this right here is what that trap looks like. We call it the money treadmill. It's that voice in your head that says, if I just had a little bit more, maybe 1/3 more, then I'd finally be happy. But as soon as you get there, the goalpost just moves, doesn't it? So we're here today to completely redefine wealth. It's not about that endless chase. It's about having exactly what you need to live out your true purpose in life.
So that brings us right to our first and most important step, know thyself. A good financial plan doesn't start with numbers. It has to start with you. It's all about figuring out what your life's purpose really is. To get us there, we're going to start with a few simple, but trust me, very powerful, little workshop exercises. Okay, first one. Imagine you just won the lottery. The big one. Money is completely off the table as a problem. What's the very first change you make? And then what about a year from now? 5 years? Be honest. Your answer here tells you what's truly important to you when all the financial walls come down.
Go ahead, seriously, take a minute. Pause this if you need to, and really give it some thought. Don't edit your answer. The ideas you come up with right now, well, they're the foundation, the actual building blocks for a plan that's going to bring you real happiness.
All right, you ready for the next one? Imagine a genie pops out of a lamp. You get 3 wishes. What are they? Now think about it. This is totally different from the lottery question. This pushes you past the stuff you can buy and into your deepest desires for your life. Things like health or wisdom or a sense of peace. This gets us way closer to your inner spiritual self. Okay, let's do it again. Pause and really think. What did you wish for? These aren't just silly games, These exercises are specifically designed to build a rock-solid bridge between your money and your soul, and that is the foundation of what we're calling true wealth.
Now, even if you know your purpose inside and out, there are 2 massive emotions that can wreck any plan: fear and greed. They're what drive the stock market crazy, and believe me, they can drive our personal decisions right off a cliff. So let's talk about how to tame these beasts.
First things first, we've got to get specific. Ask yourself right now, what am I really afraid of losing? Is it my house, my reputation? And on the other side, what am I really greedy for? Is it just more money in the bank? Or is it actually freedom, recognition? You have to be brutally honest here.
Okay, here's a visualization exercise that, it might seem a little weird at first, but stick with me, it's a game changer. If your fear was an animal, what would it be? A cornered rat? A big growling bear? Now, what about your greed? A peacock? A hungry shark? When you give these feelings an actual form, you can start to understand them and manage them, instead of letting them manage you.
And here's the last piece of this puzzle. It's really cool. In your mind, I want you to imagine holding the opposite of fear, courage, in one hand, and in the other hand, hold contentment, the opposite of greed. Just feel that for a second. Now, imagine holding your fear animal and your greed animal and just slowly bring them together. You know what often happens? They cancel each other out. The fear of going broke can actually cool down the greedy impulse to take a crazy risk. Getting a handle on that internal tug-of-war is absolutely key to a winning financial strategy.
So once you have this deeper self-knowledge, you're finally ready to build a real path forward. And that brings us to our next 2 steps. Step 2 is all about your strategy, and Step 3 is about choosing the right people to guide you. Let's see how this all comes together in a real, actionable plan.
First off, your strategy has to be based in the here and now. You've got to stop worrying about past market losses or that stock you wish you'd bought. Plan with what you have today. Second, your strategy has to line up with your values. And a fantastic way to do this is with something called socially responsible investing, or SRI. Basically, you screen your investments to make sure you're not putting money into things that go against your core beliefs.
So I can already hear some of you thinking, whoa, hold on a second. Astrology? Are you seriously saying the stars are going to manage my 401k? And you know what? That's a totally fair question, so let's tackle it head on.
It's an excellent question. Look, this isn't about predicting lottery numbers, not at all. The best way to think about it is as another tool for self-knowledge, kind of like a personality test. It can help you see your own built-in financial patterns. Like, are you a natural-born risk-taker, or are you more conservative by nature? It can also shine a light on your own personal timing cycles, times when you might feel more comfortable with big moves versus times when it might be smarter to play it safe. It's all about aligning your financial plan with your own personal rhythm.
So, when you're choosing any kind of consultant, whether it's a financial advisor, an astrological one, or even a contractor for your house, you have to be professional about it. Number 1, always try to get a personal recommendation. Number 2, ask them the tough questions. What's your specialty? How long have you been doing this? And number 3, get the fees straight, right up front, no surprises.
And let's just be real for a second. Professional advice costs money. As you can see from these ranges, you're going to pay more for someone who's a true specialist. Honestly, if the fees seem way too low, that's often a red flag that you're not dealing with a real pro. So, buyer beware, it's worth it to invest in quality guidance.
Okay, we have done the hard internal work. Now it is time to put it all into motion. We're on to the final 2 steps. Step 4, creating your plan, and Step 5, which is all about adapting it as you go.
Step 4 is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you and your consultant build the plan together. The goal here is simple: to create a financial portfolio that fits you like a comfortable pair of jeans. It has to match your style, your taste, your comfort with risk, not somebody else's.
And that leads us perfectly into Step 5, continuous revision. I love this analogy. Think of your financial plan like a spaceship heading to Jupiter. You don't just point it in the right direction, hit launch, and hope for the best, right? No way. You make thousands of tiny little course corrections the whole way there. Your financial life is exactly the same.
So, how often should you make these little corrections? Well, here's a super simple framework. At the very least, you should review your plan twice a year, once at New Year's and once on your birthday, which is kind of like your own personal New Year. Those are the perfect moments to check your course and make those small but crucial adjustments.
Because in the end, this whole process, it's not about trying to predict some future that's already written in stone. Not at all. It's about giving yourself the tools, the self-awareness, and the strategy to get in the driver's seat and actively create the future that you want, the one that truly fits your purpose.
So really, it all comes down to this one question. Armed with this new knowledge of yourself, what you really desire, what you fear, you're not just a passenger in your own life anymore. You're the pilot. So the only question left is, what financial future will you choose to create?